Welcome back for this month's favorite houseplants. The first one, I'm not sure why it didn't make my first houseplant favorites video for June that I did, but it is my neon heartleaf philodendron, and this one, I mean, I've always loved it. It started from just a tiny little cutting. If I have the picture, I hope I kept the original picture, I'll put it here, but it has taken off since I got here. And when I made it this trellis, because I've made the trellis myself, it's just the most janky thing ever, but I did make it. It has liked it so much, and I only recently chopped him back a bit because he was growing off of the trellis, and I wanted to propagate him anyways, but I just wanted to let him grow a bit more. But when I cut him back, he gave me 3 new growth points, which is absurd for this plant with how small it is and everything. But he gave me 3 new growth points and the biggest new growth, and I'm so excited because I love big leaves and I love this plant. And let me just show you the leaves, 1 second. So this is the previous big growth, and when it got these 2 leaves up front here, I was like, those are huge. I can't believe that, because when it first started growing from its original end point, they were only this big. So these leaves up here were considered massive. But now that it's on its trellis and I chopped him back, this is one of the biggest leaves that he's given me, as well as these 2 massive leaves up here. And I'm so excited to watch him grow more. And I am sad because I do think he's going to be needing a repot soon with how big I knew the roots were before and how big they must be now. But I just think he looks so cute in this pot, and he's just always been one of my favorites, really. Like I said, I don't know why he didn't make a previous list before. The next one is actually a new plant for me, and it actually needs to be watered. But it is my Paelia Moon Valley, I think. I got it for I don't know, I think the price is on here. Yeah, $3. And it's just in a little mug right now. And it is, I don't know, it's really fun. And I'm a sucker for textured leaves. If you have watched any of my videos, you know that. But this one is so cute, and it's just, I really like tiny plants too, although I think this one probably needs to be potted up soon. And it's just been a fun little new experience for me because I've never had textured leaves like this before, and it's just so pretty and so fun. And I love the little subtle red veining that happens in the main crevices on the leaf and stuff. But I don't know, I'm super happy with him. He does need to be watered quite often, which is a bit of a bummer because I don't really water all my plants very often. But he really tells you when he does need to be watered. I learned this lesson quickly after his first watering. He was completely drooped over and I panicked, but then I realized it was just that he was dry and needed water. So he's been super fun, and yeah, I'm really happy that I got him because I saw, a little story time, we're gonna get off the track a bit here, but I saw a bigger one in a proper 4-inch pot in Lowe's a couple months ago, and it was about $10 or so. So I passed on it because I didn't know how to take care of it, and I just don't like buying plants anyways that I don't know how to take care of. But if I'm going to, I want to be able to maybe have some trial and error with them, and if they die, not feel bad about it. And I know $10 isn't a lot, but at the time I just didn't want to. So I passed on it, and ever since then I was thinking oh my goodness, why didn't I get that plant? It was so pretty, I could have figured it out and all that sort of stuff. So then when I found the little one, I'm like, I can't have buyer's remorse again. I mean, is it buyer's remorse? Because it's the opposite, but I can't do that again. I need to just get it. So I got it, and I've been super happy with it. The next one isn't necessarily just one plant. It's rather a collection of plants that I've kind of put together, and that's my Frankenstein pot. And if you followed my Instagram, I post this thing probably more than all my other plants. But it has Micans, neon heartleaf, scindapsus, Brazil, and that's all right now. And it's a full pot, so I was going to put a regular heartleaf in there, but I don't think I have room for it now. But it is just, I mean, come on. Is that not just the cutest little pot of everything that you've ever seen? I'm so excited for it, and it's gotten so incredibly full and lush since I even made it. And I'm so excited for it to be a full trailing plant. I think that's gonna look so cool. And it's just been super interesting to watch grow because I know they all have their different needs and everything, and just the fact that they all kind of just grow together and are all different. I don't know, it's super unique looking, and I already love unique plants, and it's a great one, honestly. What else could you want really from a plant? The next one, I have a couple plants of it because I have the main plant, and then I have one plant that I took cuttings from, but I'm just gonna show you the main plant now. It is my Trebi Moonlight, and this is one, hit myself in the face there, but this is one that I didn't really have on my wish list or anything. I knew a lot of people wanted to find it at like grocery stores and everything, and I just came upon it by chance when I went to a Kroger near me. And it was, I mean, it was so pretty. I couldn't leave it in the store. So I did pick one up, and then I repotted it straight away. And there was a bunch of like unrooted cuttings in the pot. So I rooted those in water, and then those make up a smaller pot of it of like 3 leaves, I think, and one on the way actually. It's like a 3-leaf cutting now, and it's doing well. So the entire plant ended up surviving, and it's doing great. But yeah, it's so cute, and it's got 1, 2, 3 new leaves on the way, which is super exciting, and it's just started to vine off this side. But the reason this is my favorite right now, because it's usually just a really good plant anyways, but if you have to be special to be a favorite, because obviously I like all my plants, so it's got to have done something, or I don't know. There's some sort of metric behind it in my head, but I can't really put my finger on it. The reason it made it into this list though for this time is because the blue-green leaves and the pot that I've recently found for it, and it's from Joann's if anybody's wanting to know, because Joann's has really good terracotta pots. They don't have drainage, which is a bummer for some people, but like I said a million times, I just use mine for cash pots, so I don't really care that much. But I found this pot at Joann's, and it's like that perfect kind of faded terracotta color to go with these leaves. And like, if you know anything about color theory, there's just certain colors that go really nicely together, and I spent a long time, like my first job and everything like that in college, learning about color theory. So it's just something like that that's just super nice to look at. So I think that's why it's one of my favorites, is because that nerdy whole like, oh, the color theory works so well here and all that like kind of stuff. If that makes any sense for anybody, I'm so sorry that I'm going off on tangents like crazy here. But it's just been doing so well too. And I think as well that it's vining is something that, you know, puts it in this list for me today. It is almost hitting the floor, so I do probably have to move it soon, because my husband keeps almost hitting it and it gives me a heart attack every time he walks by. But we'll try to figure something out for that later. And the last one on this list is actually a very specific like plant, and it's the one that I have right now, you know, if that makes any sense, because I have, okay, wait, back up real quick. I have 2 of these plants, and they're the exact same, except, you know, the leaves on every plant is different. You know, every single leaf that comes out is different in some way, especially if there's like variegation and all that. So this one is my green Maranta, or rabbit's foot Maranta, and this one I only recently moved to a really bright spot in my house, because it was previously not in a dark spot at all, but just not super bright light. And I need to hurry and show you before the leaves close, because the sun's setting and it's freaking out. But it has 1 variegated stem on this plant, so every single new leaf that comes out has a little bit of variegation on it, or a lot of variegation depending on the leaf. So I moved it to a brighter spot to hopefully bring out more of that variegation and get more variegation on that stem, and then when the stem gets long enough I can trim it, propagate it, and get a whole plant of variegated Maranta soon, hopefully. Probably not soon, but within the next year. I would love it. But anyways, this one has been putting out some nice variegation for me, and my other one has nice variegation too, but this one has just been a bit more like pretty to look at. So that's why this plant specifically, not the other one, but this one is my favorite for this month. And I'll show you the variegation. So if I can just move some of these leaves over here. But do you see that leaf right there? That used to be the most variegated leaf, but then this leaf down here put out this little half moon variegation. And it's a tiny leaf, so I mean, it's really small, but that's such a cute little leaf. So I'm really excited about that stem of variegation, because it seems like the variegation is strong, and half moon variegation is always something to be excited about. I'm sure you noticed some crispy bits on that plant, and that's totally gonna happen. I don't know if anybody that owns any type of Maranta or Calathea can avoid that really, especially with it being in a bright spot. The humidity is way high in my house, so it should be doing fine, but it just happens. But those are all my favorite plants for July. I'm super excited about all of them, and I'm so glad that it like ended up being different than the June ones, because I wasn't positive that it was going to be different. But yeah, these are my favorites for now, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys can at least have some of your plants be your favorite for a little bit. You don't always have to prioritize or have favorites just like a mom, you know, all my kids are my favorite, that sort of stuff. You can say the same thing about your plants, but you can tell people about your favorites. It's okay. The other ones don't mind. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and if you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.